Good morning. Once again, you're tuned in to the SES August 26th. Let's prepare for AEP webinar. This is John Phillip with Senior Enrollment Solutions, and welcome all of you. The end of August, AEP is going to be here quicker than any of us, I believe, will predict or really be prepared for. So this morning, I would like to go through the AEP marketing, things that we can do to prepare you now to assist with an amazing AEP. Keep in mind that this isn't a one and done situation. If you need assistance in preparing anything, getting yourself organized, please, I beg of you, reach out sooner than later, as AEP is going to be here faster than any of us can predict. So without further ado, we're going to be going through the AEP marketing suggestions, costs, examples, marketing strategies on how to best utilize your time in this very brief window that is called AEP. It's only a few weeks long to produce hopefully 80% or so of your revenue for the year, utilizing your marketing co-ops, earning money on your AHIP, which I know a few of you have reached out. How do I do so? What are you talking about? How can I earn money by taking my AHIP? Working with your carrier partners and your other partners, your physicians, et cetera, that are out in the marketplace, expansions, contracts, and obviously questions and best practices. So as we go through this, first and foremost, understand where I began. I began as a belly-to-belly agent, helping consumers in 2005 with their health and their life insurance needs. We moved to Medicare in 2009 when the Affordable Care Act kind of took a dump on the health insurance side of things. And obviously during that time, we figured out how to obtain and write more referrals than most agents, frankly, write business. Referrals are what we're all after. Those are the laydowns. And I'll walk you through here in a moment how to obtain them, how to obtain more of them, and how to write those referrals coming in from your current consumer base. We certainly figured out and implemented the little things that keep consumers referring others to me. And not to boast, but a huge personal event that occurred several years ago was that I received my 10th referral down. 10th, I went coast to coast to coast to coast, and it was really difficult tracking back where these referrals actually came from. But you do things the right way, and those referrals will obviously continue to sprawl. First and foremost, we have to get the business together in order to have enough business sold, to have enough referrals to get into those 6 degrees of separation. You need to understand one thing in this career, and it doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent that's tuning in. It doesn't matter if you're a health, an annuity, a life, a printer salesman. You are a marketer. There are FMOs that actually put marketing in their name. So realize something, 95% of your career, you are marketing. You are trying to find the consumers that you can assist. The other 5% of your career are taking your certifications, additional education, product knowledge, and then actually writing that business. So the first thing we have to understand is the fact that you're a marketer. I'm a marketer. We're all marketing to generate additional business that then we can go write. We need to understand what works and what doesn't. Certainly running the numbers of your rate of return, your cost of acquisition. What does the sale or that lead today going into the numbers game, right? If you're at purchasing hot leads off the internet, you're about 1 out of 10, 1 out of 11 sales in general. So what is the cost of an internet lead? About $6 a piece. We understand that it's going to cost about $66 per sale. So with that sale, many agents are just after that first year. I want to make sure I earn that $539 or that $270. But what is that sale going to end up occurring or reoccurring as a revenue to you 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road? And where's your cost of acquisition? And are we really looking at the true value of that sale as opposed to the initial income that comes out of that sale itself? Marketing is an investment. It's not a cost. Don't look at it that way. If I put $1 into marketing and I earn $2.20 back, that's a pretty good investment. Don't view it as an additional business cost. use or visualize your investment as something that's going to grow your business, to then free up more time to do more marketing, to free up more time to write more business. And it's basically feeding the beast is what we call it. You need to get your beast fed and grown large enough that it can go out and hunt on its own, right? And that's where the referral process comes into play. However, marketing is a big black hole where you can lose it all. There is some terrible marketing ideas going on out there. I have attempted a few of them. I would suggest not using some of them. And certainly that's why we're having this conversation and why you're on this webinar. Subtle changes obviously can increase your marketing return. A word here, a word there, possibly spending the extra money to have your marketing go out in color, having color on your letterhead if you're sending a letter out to your consumers. Once again, statistically, you spend $1 in marketing, it should yield you $2.20 in overall return. It's a great investment. You just have to make sure that we're putting those investment dollars to work for you. Now, keep in mind, been doing this a while. I actually found this picture a while ago of my 2006, 2007 leads of what I provided to a marketer to print off the postcard labels and to send out postcards to my consumers. The way that we're utilizing information these days and the way that it's being received obviously has changed. I don't own a computer that has a floppy disk or a hard drive in ability in it any longer. But the premise of reaching as many people as humanly possible has not changed. You need to be screaming from the highest mountaintop, I'm here to assist you, I'm here to help you with your needs. I'm professional, I'm educated, and if I could have a line out the office door for each one of you that's on, with consumers waiting to see you, then obviously the sales are a moot point. It all comes back once again to that marketing. 101 ways to market yourself. We're going to begin with the inexpensive. Utilizing your time instead of utilizing your money. We do have some newer agents on that may not have the marketing budget that some of you seasoned agents on have. So let's just begin at the very beginning and always go back to the basics. The basic marketing, it works. It continues to work. And we can always work our way up to expensive marketing, spending more money as opposed to your time. But initially, a lot of new agents have far more time than what they have money. So let's begin. One of the least expensive things that you can do with your money is to go purchase business cards. Something that's going to let the consumer know easily what it is that you do. Leave them everywhere you go, everywhere that's humanly possible. Give to as many people as humanly possible. Your cork boards, every Panera Bread has a cork board, but yet I see very few agents' business cards besides my own on those cork boards. Diners, their ledges when you go in and check out, they're always full of business cards and additional marketing. Make sure you list once again specifically what it is that you do in an easy to read format, something that's going to draw their attention as they walk by, and why they need to call you. What is that sense of urgency or that call to action? Business cards currently are about $55, we call it $60 including shipping, for 1,000 two-sided high-gloss business cards. They're very inexpensive, and that is really the one thing as any sales rep should have in their back pocket, as well as a box in their vehicle to be able to leave anywhere and everywhere. Your trifolds. Most of the carriers offer trifolds free of cost. If you'd like us to help you create a trifold, we'd be more than happy to. We've created many trifolds for agents over the last few years. Typically, once again, they're free. Request them either from the carrier or from your upline. Place in dental offices that accept that carrier. So for instance, you're viewing a Molina trifold that Molina created specifically for Senior Enrollment Solutions. The front of it is the non-generic, if you will, trifold that shows the $2,500 of comprehensive dental. You can leave these in the dentist offices. Obviously, you need to purchase the trifold holders. We'll help you with that. You can purchase 20, I think, for $36 on Amazon. Go into these facilities, either the dental facilities, any eye locations. Your podiatry offices are amazing as well, especially for those plans that offer huge diabetic discounts. Specifically discussing, for instance, your More Care plan that has free diabetic shoes, free insulin strips, free etc. And no co-payments for podiatry. That is a great place to leave a More Care trifold. Trifold holders, once again, are needed, but in the same breath, you also get to understand and know your front desk staff. So when you go in on a weekly basis, and it does come down to your consistency, making sure they never run out. The minute they run out, you're obviously there. I would suggest you find 4, maybe 5 dental offices in your area. Let's make sure that they accept Molina, United Health, WellCare, whoever you're looking to market. Maybe it's all of them and one at every different location, or maybe you choose to have 10 dentist offices. But I would suggest that you get on a schedule. So every Wednesday, you're able to hit that dentist office and say good morning to Joanne, bring in a half a dozen donuts or bagels. Treat that office staff like gold, as they will then push these trifolds out to your consumers, perhaps even with your business card stapled into the trifold. Make sure, obviously, it's compliant. We're not whiting anything out or changing any verbiage, but making sure that you stay in touch with that front desk staff. Get on a schedule, do a little due diligence, see who accepts United Health in your area, Molina in your area, or anyone else. Once you come up with a carrier you'd like to represent, simply log into the carrier portal or reach out to us and we'll help you create one that has your specific phone number, your name, and the benefits that the consumer is specifically looking for at that specific location. Trifolds are basically free. Once again, all you're doing is taking 2 hours out of every Wednesday to bebop around to 5 local dentist offices or eye locations or podiatry offices, whomever it may be, that specialist office, to just drop off those trifolds, to drop off your business cards, whatever you can do to stay in touch with that facility to make sure that they have enough to pass out. That may end up being a gold mine where that one dentist office begins to refer you like wildfire and keeps you busy the entire year long. Your current clients, have you created a postcard for them yet? Have you created an AEP letter for them yet? I'm still in the industry. I'm still here servicing you. I still want in that 6 degrees of separation so I can help your spouse, their siblings, your family, your friends. That's what I'm after, is just making sure that all of my client base knows darn well that I'm still alive. I made it through COVID. I'm still in the industry. Your AEP is coming. Please reach out to me if you have questions, or reach out to me if your friends, family, or loved ones have questions. Keep in mind, stamps are increasing their price on September 1st. If you are planning on doing any kind of mailer, I would suggest using a mail house, Lead Concepts or Target Leads or Kramer Direct, or anyone that you're comfortable with, in order to not have to print off the labels and stamp, etc. We don't have time for that per se anymore, as in less than a week it's September 1st. So keep in mind that the date in which you want your mailers to hit your consumer is roughly October 1st. Not before, just after, or hopefully on the day of. So with the post office running slow, keep in mind it's about 10 to 12 days to have a mailer actually mailed out and sent to your consumers. If you want help creating a mailer, we're here to help you. You can always use Fiverr. You can find a printer to help you create one. But this is a great way annually for you to stay in front of your consumers, to remind them that AEP is beginning, that I need to hear from you or your loved ones to reach out. Let them know once again that you're still in the industry and that we're always after that 6 degrees of separation. Stamps currently, for those asking, are roughly 59 cents, I believe. I think they're going up to 63 cents. So if you're only mailing out a few hundred, it's not a big deal. If you're planning on mailing out 10, 20, 30,000, it becomes certainly an additional cost. But the postcards work, especially for those consumers who have moved, or more importantly, for those consumers who have passed out all of your business cards to their friends and loved ones. And in doing so, they don't have your business card anymore. So what's your phone number? How do they get a hold of you? Or how does their friends or loved ones get a hold of you? And it's amazing the calls I receive personally off my postcards during AEP saying, I moved from Delaware to South Carolina, or I moved from Oakland County to Macomb County, and thank goodness I got your postcard because I had no idea what I was going to do for my husband this upcoming AEP, or my sister who's enrolling into Medicare. So the postcards are certainly a huge avenue to stay in touch with your current base and receive additional referrals. Tear-offs, they're nearly free. They're about 80 cents for a color copy. Now, once again, your consistency is certainly key with all of this. I put up tear-offs, pull tabs, call them what you wish. I know a pull tab is generally a form of gambling at a location, Alex Eagles Club, what have you. So tear-offs are typically how we call them, but your consistency is key. These tear-offs, putting them up in your senior facilities, putting them up in the community facilities, which every community has a senior center. They all have corkboards. All of your laundry mats typically have a corkboard or an area in which to put up a tear-off as well. So the dual eligible agents that are tuning in, get in the habit every Wednesday, find 4 or 5 laundry mats that you can hit consistently every Wednesday, every Thursday, right? The weekends are typically when most laundry is completed. Learn the person who's employed at the laundry mat. What's their name? Are they generally here? Say good morning to them. They will be a great referral base for you as well. Tell them what you do before you just stick up a tear-off and run out the door. You'll be seeing them on a weekly basis. Know that Candace works at this laundromat and treat them like family, as they will end up referring others to you. Once again, 5 locations, maybe 10 at best, but pull up the laundromats in your area. Pull up the locations, the senior centers, etc. in your area. Go in and meet these people as opposed to just running in and putting up a tear-off. Let them know why you're there. I'm here to service my community. There's a lot of people that you probably meet that may need my services, additional dental or transportation or whatever it may be, that hotspot where I can come in and really assist your patrons that you know by name because you're here every day. Anywhere, once again, with a corkboard is a great location to put up tear-offs. Keep in mind, you'll want some push pins, as well as possibly either some packing tape or some Scotch tape. Packing tape works really well if it's on the side of a Pepsi machine where everyone's tear-offs or marketing is. Generally, most of the time there is a corkboard though. Print off 40, 50 of them, leave them in your car in a folder. Obviously with the tear-offs, keep in mind you want to tear one of the tear-offs off. People do what other people do, right? So if one person appears to have taken a tear off, then someone else will take it and someone else will take one, etc. If you don't tear one off, then oftentimes they're never touched when you come back in a week later. So understand the psychology behind your tear-offs and your marketing. Next, we get a little more expensive, table tents. Basically, 2 business cards folded that make a tent, right? Or a little teepee, if you will. That tent stands where consumers check out. Table tents are roughly about 20 cents a piece. The consistency, once again, is key. If you go to the same Thai food restaurant every Thursday, make sure that you have table tents next to the checkout. At your local diners, table tents seem to stand out a little more than just a flat business card. Get them stacked up. Make sure you have permission to leave them behind, but anywhere, restaurants, diners, anywhere there's a counter where patrons either pay or walk by is a great location just to have a stack of table tents. Once again, they're about 20 cents a piece. Typically, we order 500 or 1,000 of them at a time. So for 500 table tents, you're talking maybe $100. If you get one sale out of those table tents, once again, the rest of those table tents that are in your vehicle or that you haven't put out yet are free to you. We're back to that spend $1, get $2.20 back. And table tents are an amazing, very inexpensive way of continuing to brand and market yourself. Magnets. In my career, I believe I've ordered about 190,000 magnets by now. I'd have to go back and really run the numbers, but I'm guessing it's somewhere between 175 and 250,000. Magnets are roughly 15 cents a piece. Magnets.com is where I order my magnets. It seems to be the highest quality. I would suggest that you do not do much of your marketing via Vistaprint or some of these other kind of lower end marketing kind of gimmicky style locations. They do have far lower costs, but it does come down to the quality. And what I mean by that is this. If you order a magnet from Vistaprint, it generally will be about half to a third of the thickness from a location like magnets.com. More importantly, you have to keep in mind that they're laminated. So some magnets have like a sticker basically glued on the top of it called laminating. Other magnets, it's actually created and built into the magnet as they're processing and creating that magnet. If you purchase a laminated magnet and it gets wet, then the top begins to peel. If it's a thinner magnet, the magnet itself, the corners will peel up. It won't even hold a sheet of paper any longer. So what's the point of having a magnet if it doesn't even stick to your fridge or your back door? So spend the little extra money to have higher quality products that will last your consumer years as opposed to months, because that's what we're after, right? We're after the longevity in this industry and creating renewals and referrals for years to come. And if someone's walking into my client's home, I want to make damn sure that my magnet is still on their fridge. I provide a magnet to every sale and non-sale. If I'm in a home and I can't help you, you're still getting a magnet. Mail out with every thank you card. I'm hoping that you're sending out handwritten thank you cards to all of your consumers. They're 4 for $1 at the dollar store. Pay someone to fill out these thank you cards or begin filling them out now ahead of AEP, where all you have to do is just grab the same style pen and write in Don, Janice, or whomever your client's name is as you're sending that out. 2 business cards and a magnet go out with every sale that I make to ensure that that consumer has my information everywhere so they never lose it and can send anyone and everyone over to me. Lawn signs. Lawn signs are roughly $4, including the stand. So you're talking about roughly $200 to purchase 50 lawn signs. Obviously, if you do two-sided, they're a little bit more. If you don't purchase the stand, you can generally drive that cost down to about $2 a piece. But assuming that you purchased 50 lawn signs for $200, if you made one sale once again off one of those lawn signs, the other 49 are free to then generate additional revenue. I am a firm believer of lawn signs. You will see them all over the Metro Detroit, Flint, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Michigan cities this AEP, as we have purchased hundreds of lawn signs. I make sure that they're placed in high traffic areas in order to keep your lawn sign. And that's a huge concern to many agents. I went out and put up 50 lawn signs. They're all gone. I just dropped $200 and I didn't even get a phone call. If you put them out on Friday afternoon or Friday evening and you take them down on Sunday, the road commissioner doesn't work on the weekends. So if the road commissioner is not working on the weekends, your lawn sign will stay out all weekend long And then you can just drive around your route, almost like a trap line, right? You're driving around or having someone else pay them to go around and pick up your lawn signs on Sunday to then reestablish and place them back out the following Friday to take them down on Sunday. Ensure that your type is large. Ensure that it's easy to read. There obviously needs to be a call to action, right? Why are they phoning you? What's the point of your lawn sign? Is it that you purchase homes for cash? Is it that you offer affordable health insurance for the health insurance agents on, that you offer Obamacare, right? There's a slew of Obamacare lawn signs in the Detroit area. You need to have a call to action of some kind. One of the locations that we purchase our lawn signs from is cheappoliticalsigns.com. They obviously don't need to be political, but that is a great avenue in purchasing lawn signs and having your costs be inexpensive. Obviously, most of these are year-round ways of being able to market yourself. Mailer pieces. There are a slew of compliant mailer pieces. If you wish to have one created, we'll help you create one. Typically, a mailer piece is roughly $530 per thousand for a black and white. It's roughly $600 per thousand for a color copy. Obviously, you need to obtain a list or request from a vendor. Lead concepts, target leads. Decide whether or not you're hitting the turning 65s. Decide whether or not you're hitting the dual eligibles or really focusing on the med sup consumers, as your mailer piece will certainly want to be very different between those consumers. Another great avenue of reaching hundreds, if not thousands of consumers for a very inexpensive cost. So for instance, you send out a mailer piece to a consumer and their wife is aging in. Well, now the other 999 mail pieces, once again, are in essence free to you. Mailer pieces do work. Once again, consistency is the key. Now, with your generic mailer pieces, if you do decide to send out a generic mailer piece, as it is the least expensive, I would strongly suggest that you follow up in some fashion. With the generic mailer pieces, the trifolds or bifolds that are sent out, there is a consent to contact on the mailer piece itself. So you do have a time period that you're able to reach out to these consumers via telephone, via email, whatever it may be, to try and assist and service them in regards to their questions. What we found is that by sending out generic mailer pieces, let's say your rate of return is about 2%. Well, 2% of 1,000 people is roughly 20 leads. As a new agent, you should be able to close about a quarter of them. So you should be able to have roughly 5 sales per every 1,000 mailer pieces sent out. What we found, however, is a lot of consumers choose not to put their phone number on it. They choose not to put their email on it. They just tear off the trifold and physically mail it back to us. And we have no way of reaching out to them because we don't have their phone number, their email, or any other means to compliantly make contact. So what we created was a bifold. With that bifold, we physically take their mailer piece, their consent to contact that they wrote on or mailed back to us, and we glue it into this bifold, add a magnet, and then send it back to the consumer again. And the rate of reply dramatically increased as soon as we started doing so, that these consumers now were saying, how did you get my handwritten information? Who wrote this? Well, you did, Joyce. You asked us for help, but you never provided your phone number. What's going on with your situation? So it is an additional expense to sending out a generic mailer piece, right? It's almost double the cost, basically. But I now know that this consumer has a magnet on their fridge or on their back door. I know that the consumer, if they don't have a phone number, is now reaching out to us saying, hey, where did you receive my information? And yeah, why didn't you guys follow up with me? Obviously, because we didn't have their information. So some kind of follow-up, whether or not it's a bifold, whether or not you create a letter or a postcard on your own as a follow-up where you can just print off the labels out of your lead concept CRM, target lead CRM, whatever mail source you're typically using will provide you a list that you can just run as an Excel, print off your labels, throw a label on it, a stamp on it, and send it back to the consumer, it will dramatically increase your rate of return for your generic mailer pieces. Bus ads, billboards. Now we're starting to get into some pricier marketing. Through the Chamber of Commerce, if any of you are members of your local Chamber of Commerce, oftentimes they send out discounted billboards. So for instance, I just received an email about 2 days ago that the billboard on M59 in front of the Walmart in White Lake, it's a digital billboard, they're offering that for roughly $400 a week. Now, being a digital billboard, you understand that you're only on it 3.5 to 5 seconds. Make sure that it's super easy to read, that it grabs someone's attention. But for that $400 a week, that's certainly an avenue in increasing your marketing to these consumers, or any consumer for that matter. Taxis, pretty inexpensive to have a magnet on the side or on the back of a taxi cab. Your airport parking vans are very inexpensive to utilize as well. It'll cost you about $1,000 to $1,200 a month. But how many seniors are flying, or how many kids are flying to be home with their family? The smart buses. This is our ad that I'm showing you that are currently in the smart buses in Macomb, Wayne, and Genesee County. So where you sit on the bus, when you look up and there's that little plastic area, if you will, between the wall, it's almost like a crown molding to a certain extent, between the ceiling of the bus and the wall of the bus, you can place your ads up there. It's 42-inch long by 18-inch tall ad. So it's a pretty large ad, but obviously we target the dual eligibles that are riding the bus, and maybe we can provide them with private transportation. So billboards, bus ads, obviously a more expensive way of marketing, but still a great way of marketing nonetheless. Your radio, Pandora, television ads. The TV ads, they will help film for you in most situations. Your Pandora ads are a great avenue, especially for the Med Sup consumer. Most of your Medicare supplemental consumers have new cars. And with having a new car, it does allow for them to have the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. And a lot of consumers are either on Spotify, or what we have found is most seniors that are out there are on Pandora. Now, when they get into their Mercedes-Benz and they're driving home from the restaurant, obviously your ad plays and they listen to your ad and hopefully create some call to action. Any kind of radio, Pandora, TV, typically will cost about $10,000 to get the ad created, to get it filmed, and then to get it out and running. TV ads, typically you can obtain about 50 ads for that cost. So make sure that your timing of those ads obviously is very important as well. You get into the 7, 8 o'clock Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy time, it's very expensive. You get into the 2:33, 4 o'clock a.m. time period, and obviously your cost begins to go down. Make sure your timing in your audience obviously is correct. Ensure that there's no additional filming or setup costs. Know the contract before you get into a contract with anyone for that cost on what they're actually providing to you, and that it's going to be set up to your expectations and ran it in which the time or the location for that matter that you're wanting or wishing to run that ad. So marketing 101, first and foremost, we need to find consumers anywhere and everywhere humanly possible. You need to perfect your call, your script when you're reaching out to those consumers. I will tell you that COVID is not over, right? There's all sorts of issues going on with mask mandates and the thought of closing, and we have no idea if we're running into the same AEP as what we had this last year, where it's very difficult to get into a facility, a Section 8, a community housing, whatever it may be. Many consumers just simply don't want you in their home. They don't know where you've been. They don't know if you're vaxxed. They don't know if you've seen 12 people before coming in and visiting with them. So it's imperative that you get your call script down, that you technology know how to write consumers over the phone, and that your presentation, if you are visiting with consumers, is spot on where you can increase your closing ratio every time. You need to market your hiney off, know your stuff, and obviously get prepared. Now is the time. We technically have 5 weeks until AEP begins. My AEP begins on October 1st. I know I can't write the consumer per se, but I can help them make sure their physicians are in network, their specialists, their hospitals are covered, their medications are covered, they know what their costs are, and that they're ready to go by the 15th. And then at that point in time, all I need to do is go into the carrier electronic application and send out an application to that consumer electronically, or phone them and get them just enrolled right over the phone. You need to get in the door. Once again, your predictable phone script is absolutely crucial. Attempt to consult. Now, all of us on our health license, it says that you're a fiduciary. It means that you're going to help the consumer with the right plan, and that income is not your main focus here. It's making sure that your client has a suitable plan that's going to fit their needs, not a plan that you're necessarily appointed with, certified with, or make the most amount of money on. Don't sell these consumers. Build a relationship with them and spend the extra 2 to 3 minutes at the end of your presentation with them to really instill why they want you as their agent for life, not necessarily for the next 3 months, 9 months, or a year's time. Follow through. Follow up with your cards. Follow up when you get paid with a consumer. Have you ordered your OTC medications? Do you have my magnet? Did my business cards arrive? Are you good to go? Great. Who's a referral? And then you just repeat with step 1 with their referral, and then their referral and their referral thereafter. So once again, obviously, as a marketing, we need to market to enough consumers to have enough referrals coming in, which will then, in essence, dramatically lower your overall marketing costs. Preparing for this AEP. Get a current list of consumers or past consumers or consumers that are no longer on your books. Let's get them organized. Let's get them on an Excel spreadsheet. Let's get them loaded into a CRM of some kind so we can extract them and put them on an Excel spreadsheet. Let's get a letter created or a postcard created to your current consumers. All of your marketing, once again, needs to be completed realistically by September 15th and either mailed by September 15th or out and actually at your client or potential client's home by October 1st. Now the goal is to help as many consumers as humanly possible between October 1st and October 14th. Before the ex-NFL Hall of Famer comes on TV and starts confusing people, before they start getting blasted by all the carrier ads and the carrier marketing, I want my client to reach out to their siblings saying, oh, it's not confusing, just call John. And by helping as many consumers really solidify their thoughts within that 2-week period, that's what allows for me to have referrals coming through from October 15th on by all the consumers that I was able to help solidify that thought process, get the information in their hands on why we're moving them, what we're saving them, whatever the case may be, to once again obtain those referrals and continue that trust with that consumer. Follow up with your sold consumers quickly to increase your AEP referrals. So if you write someone on a Humana plan that obviously is an AEP 1/1 effective date on October 15th, when you see that Humana's approved that consumer within your database, I would reach out to that client saying, hey, great news, your app's been approved. You don't need to cancel your Aetna plan in order to purchase this plan or whatever carrier it may be. But I'm just letting you know that everything's okay. Put your mind at ease and send me everyone else that you know that's all conjumbled with the changes of Medicare. Your Walmart, your Kroger stores, your CVS stores, have your PPE ready. Do you have a I Love Medicare mask? Do you have your business cards together? Did you create or make a sneeze guard? If you need any of this, please reach out to us so we can help you get prepared so you can go into the store and make sure that you remain safe, that your clients or your potential clients feel comfortable sitting across from you, and that everyone is good to go on your presence being there and them wanting to sit with you feeling safe and necessary to get that policy taken care of. Your certifications, your contracting, is it all complete? Now, I understand Priority Health is requiring webinars here in the state of Michigan, so your Priority Health may not be completed yet. I understand that Devoted is new to Illinois for our Illinois agents on. Your contracting, your certifications may not be completed yet. And More Care certifications for our Illinois agents, those are launching on September 7th. So I know those 3 are not able to be completed or may not be completed yet. The rest of your certifications, come up with a time frame that you're getting these completed, and preferably have them completed by September 1st. You have a week. Let's try and rock through all of the certifications required to continue to remain being a fiduciary and helping your clients with the best plan or the right plan that's going to suit your needs. Know the plans. If you haven't begun ordering yet, your materials, if you are still completing paper applications, requesting trifolds or anything from the carrier, now is the time. You can begin ordering your carrier materials. You should be receiving emails. If you need materials, you need us to place an order for you, we'd be happy to do so. We'll have them delivered directly to your home. But now's the time to start making sure that you have all of your materials in order, so it's not October 11th and you're scrambling to find a WellCare application. This is the time that the carriers are allowing you to go in and order. Understand the carriers that you're working. What county are you working in primarily, or counties? What carriers are being offered in those counties? SES will provide you a DSNP map so you understand which DSNPs, dual eligible plans, are in those counties, as well as a zero premium map so you understand what zero premium plans are available in those counties as well. But understand the changes that are occurring with the carriers and their plan outlines for this upcoming year. More importantly, get to know how to write online and telephonic apps. We created a 2021 where and how to submit applications. If you need that, please reach out, email us, or request on the chat line. We'd be happy to send that over to you. But know that every carrier offers a telephonic enrollment and or an online enrollment. The days of having to scrub apps, try and rip those damn Aetna apps or Humana apps out of a perforated, ripping the application and having to destroy it and go into it again, those days should be over. You should be able to really utilize your PURLs, your personal URLs that the carriers provide you. Know the phone numbers in order to complete the application through Ascend, through your rate application with Aetna WellCare. Know the 1-800 number that you can just phone the 1-800 number with your consumer, mute yourself, and then let that carrier enroll that consumer while you get paid and get credit. Knowing the telephonic and online enrollments not only will save you a ton of time and grief, having to track down and the stress of having to obtain additional information that you may have missed on the paper application, knowing you only have 24 hours to get this done. Applications ordered, once again, picked up, delivered by October 1st. Your application scanned and ready to mail if necessary. So there are 2 carriers, Aetna and Humana, that do have barcodes or a number on the bottom of their applications. I would suggest, if you are mailing out any paper applications to a consumer, or if you're leaving the app with a consumer expecting them to mail it back to you, that you scan the entire app into your system first, save it on your computer, and then mail out that Humana app or that Aetna app. And hopefully they're changing that. I don't see any changes this upcoming year. But the last thing you need is just to receive the signature page back, and that doesn't do anyone any good. So by you having the entire application saved on your desktop or on your computer, that will help ensure that when that application comes back, you still have all the required pages to complete that application. Get your draft emails together. Now, when I help the med sup consumer, typically, I have trained my consumers to email me. Joyce, email me a list of your medications. I'll get them scrubbed. I then send back to Joyce or whomever the client is the Medicare.gov findings. It appears as though, or I've compared these 2 or 3 plans for you. It appears as though that Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be the least expensive overall costing plan. Click my PURL below to complete your online enrollment. So creating draft emails for every single carrier, you're really only looking at having 8, 9, 10 draft emails set up, but I'm providing that consumer my PURL, which then alleviates my time of actually having to write that consumer in the first place. They're doing all of the heavy lifting, if you will, on their end to complete their application. Now, keep track of the emails you've sent out, the consumers you've spoken to, create some kind of Excel spreadsheet, put them into some kind of CRM platform, so that way when I complete, for instance, the Humana application and I receive the app ID, I then can keep in mind that the app ID for 1010001 is for Donald Smith. And when I see the email come back from the carrier that app ID has been completed, I then can remove Donald off my Excel, or I can mark him as being completed. The last thing you want to do is send a bunch of emails out or PURLs out to consumers, and then they think that they've completed something on their own, but they haven't. And then you get a phone call on December 9th saying, what the hell, I never got an email from you. How do we get this done? And AEP's over, and now you're the bearer of bad news, and your client thinks that you're inept. So track any online application email that you're sending out. I can't tell you the importance behind this, because it is very imperative that you track your online consumer base to ensure that they have completed, or you can follow up a week later, or even, United Health only allows you 24 hours for that DocuSign, that you can follow up later that afternoon saying, Bill, I still haven't seen this come through. Have you completed it yet? Your organizational list of your current consumers, once again, helped between October 1st and October 14th to ensure that if you're not able to write that application at that time, that you're following up on the 15th, 16th with these consumers, letting them know that an email has been kicked over to you, that your application's waiting in your text, in your email, wherever it may be, to help them get it finalized and completed before the timeline ends. Generating more business. There's several different ways of doing so this AEP. Obviously, your current and your past consumers. If you're an agent that has several hundred consumers on your books, that's amazing and great, and congrats, but let's reach out to them and let them know that you're still in the industry. The last thing you want is a door knocker to show up and rewrite that consumer and steal them from you because this consumer's confused and didn't know why this person was non-compliantly door knocking, and they just signed a form. Your agent of record change forms. There are a few carriers that do not allow agent of record change forms. United Health, Humana, and PHP here in the state of Michigan. In the state of Illinois, you have United Health and Humana that do not accept agent of record change forms. All the others do. If you take the time out to go help a consumer that is in need of help because they don't know who their agent is, they haven't spoken to them in 5 years, they don't send magnets, thank you cards, whatever it may be, an agent of record change form in our eyes is as good as a sale. So I have no problem taking that consumer and letting them know that we're going to be here to support you through your Medicare process. I'm really sorry that you don't know who your agent is, but I will take care of you from here on out. Wooing over other agents' clients. I get phone calls weekly from agents in other states across the nation saying, how did you take Diane? Why would you take her from me? Well, once again, you're not doing your job. You're not doing the follow-up required to have Joanne know that you're still her agent. Or I'm sorry, maybe you're a captive agent only selling one carrier and the rates have gone up, and maybe that's just the problem of being a captive agent sometimes, right? So wooing over your other agents' clients is a great way to generate additional revenue, because many agents aren't doing the little things in order to generate additional revenue. Finding new consumers, obviously. Your referral base, I cannot emphasize enough. I don't care if you have 50 clients, I don't care if you have 5,000 clients. Reaching out to them and letting them know this time of year that you're still okay, you're still in the industry, and we're still willing and able to help them. Your marketing to professional offices, once again, your physicians' offices, your PNC agencies that refuse to get their AHIP, they don't want to deal with health, life, Medicare. Pop into your local state farm, farm bureau, farmers, Allstate. They're all over the place. Pop in, introduce yourself, and let them know that, look, I'd be willing to feed you guys lunch every week if I can just get your referrals from you, or create some kind of relationship with them. The same with your financial planners, your dentist offices, your podiatrists. I will tell you that a cardiologist feeds me very well. And she keeps a stack of cards, and every patient that comes in that has Medicare questions, she just hands them my card. And we have a great relationship throughout the years of her just feeding us tons of business. And then I feed them lunch on a monthly basis, and everything's really well. Your Walmart, your Kroger, your CVS, your community events that are going on, the dedicated offices that are opening. If you have an interest in getting into a Walmart, a Kroger, a CVS store, if you have an interest in getting into what we're doing with dedicated here in the Metro Detroit area, or where dedicated is expanding to for your West Side Michigan agents, or Jackson, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti agents, there is a ton of growth and a ton of business out there to take advantage of, in just giving up an afternoon of your time to go out and meet your community at one of these locations. So if there is an interest, once again, reach out. So who is your referral? Understanding your referrals, right? I go out and I write Tom. I need to ask Tom if he's married. I should be asking Tom and what is your spouse doing? Do you have any siblings or siblings-in-law? Who are your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues? Many of these individuals retiring from the airlines, retiring from the big three, they're all sending over their referrals of their colleagues. Maybe they're currently laid off. Your specialists, your primary care physicians, your dentists, any other health professional is a great referral sprawl. So getting more out of your referrals, obviously, they have to come from a trusted source. Otherwise, it's just a lead, right? So that referral needs to be within that 6 degrees of separation. Provide them better service. Many customers, once again, are left in the cold. They're sold and dumped, right? Slinging mud occurs a lot in this industry. Provide them better service. Provide them better knowledge and checking their meds, their doctors, and asking them the correct questions in order to best find the right plan for them. Share your care. Care about this member in your community. Let they know others within the community. You can make a ton of money on empathy. So go out and lead by the heart, not with dollar signs in your eyes. Be more professional than the agent to the left or right of you. Keep your appointment times. Be punctual. Call back your clients in a prompt fashion. Make sure your voicemail is never full. Does your client have a way to refer you? Do they have your business card? Do they have a magnet? Did you provide them their paperwork in your agency or agent folder? So that way they have a nice little happy folder of how they're handling their health or their Medicare. I know we're running out of time. I'm going to speed up just a smidge. "50 steps to earning referrals." Once again, be prompt, knowledgeable, professional. Set the expectation of what's to follow. Hold your consumer's hand tightly and guide them through this process. Don't shove them through this process. Your follow-up calls, your voicemail not being full once again, handwritten thank you cards, returning the client's call is a huge step to this. The stability and longevity of how long you may have been an agent. This is kind of a fake it till you make it style industry to a certain extent, but that stability and that longevity that, look, the agency I work with has been around forever. I die, you're still okay, someone will take care of you. Be friendly versus professional, or do both. Some agents sell consumers because their personality just woos the consumer over, but frankly, they don't know shit about what they're talking about. They're not professional. Other agents, and I feel myself, are more professional than friendly. I don't have time to have tea with you every week, Joyce. I have a profession that I have to continue to push through and other clients to continue to service. So consumers are drawn to me for my professionalism and my knowledge of knowing all the stuff that I'm about ready to talk to them about. If you can figure out a way to be friendly and professional, I will tell you, you will be unstoppable in this industry. Additional ways of generating more referrals. I know my LIS and extra help in and out. If you need help with this, please reach out. But I have a lot of consumers that are not on low income subsidy or extra help. I help them obtain low income subsidy and extra help. Generally, what that does is it frees up that $140 Part B premium. I can take that $140 and I can purchase a med sup plan for them. Now they have basically 100% coverage. They're not really even paying for it because I just saved them thousands of dollars in setting up this extra help. If you don't know or understand the 5 things that extra help provides you, I'm not going through it this morning as we are in a time crunch. However, take a screenshot, take a picture, or I will certainly be happy to send this over to you or go through a separate training on extra help and how to sell consumers by enrolling them in that extra help or low income subsidy. Your follow-up. Make sure, once again, to follow up and keep in touch with all of your consumers. I don't care if it's a Thanksgiving card, a birthday card, a Christmas card, generally with my family and the dog, etc. on it. Help your consumer make sure that you are in front of them. Your consumers not only pay your bills, but they are your referral base. Keep in mind that that $22.50 or whatever you're receiving from that app you wrote 4 years ago, that you're still receiving $22.50, right? It's purchasing lunch once a month for you or taking care of a minor bill for you or what have you. These consumers, keep them with you and keep them on your books. The slinging of mud only works for so long, and that's obviously where the floundering occurs within this industry. After the sale, immediately send your handwritten thank you card, your business cards, your magnet. Follow up with the consumers when you find out they're approved. Remind them that their cards and paperwork or whatever from the company or your agency will be arriving soon. Then you get paid, right? And once I get paid, I follow up again with the consumer. Did you order your OTC materials? Have you scheduled a dentist appointment? Have you canceled your med sup policy from your previous provider? Did you receive your cards, your paperwork? Where are you at with this? More importantly, you still have my business card. You still have a way of contacting me. Get your AEP postcards out, your holiday postcards out. Make sure that you're in front of these consumers. Additional resources and training. SES obviously has several different websites. I think we're up to 21 URLs now. Your agent portal for any quoting purposes on the med sup side. Keep in mind, I know several of you have asked about Prosperity. That will be on the website as of 9/1, a new carrier in Michigan with amazing rates. Royal Arcanum is new to Michigan as well. Know your resources, your contracting. Everything is housed in the agent portal. We do provide DocuSign for your contracting, but your stalls, your objections, your first 8 seconds on the phone, all of that is within your agent portal. We have created hundreds of YouTube videos. If you can't find one suiting your needs or you have additional questions, please reach out. But we do have a consumer YouTube video channel. It's under Senior Enrollment Solutions. We also have the agent YouTube channel, which is under SES Agents. Our webinars, our lunch and learns, they've all been filmed. They're all on YouTube. If you have specific questions, you can't find a video, reach out. We'll send you the link to that video to help you better understand any of the marketing, AEP, whatever it may be, to continue to increase your production. Your main points of contact here at SES. Obviously, I'm John Fallett. I'm the principal. You have Jasmine Leopold, our contracting coordinator. Teresa Rogers, who handles the agent services, life and annuity department. Ellie Phillips is our internal Medicare specialist. You have several different emails. Obviously, agent services is the hub. You can always email myself, Teresa, Jasmine, whomever directly, but agent services will get you to the right department. If you have a question on commissions, you can always email commissions, or contracting, you can always email contracting. But once again, agent services really is the hub to all of this. Let's make sure that we have an amazing AEP and that we're able to thrive this AEP and have, for some, a much better AEP, for others, a more telephonic, electronic way of conducting business to really help generate additional revenue.